Our story takes place in 2019 on the popular game Roblox. Roblox is an online game known for its community-made mini-games that players can take part in. The game we'll be focusing on is called RMG World, a Roblox hood gangster simulator. Roblox gangsters have been gaining a lot of popularity since 2018, but the players in our stories end up taking things outside of the game, and it ends up getting deadly in real life. Meet Vontae Jones Jr., 22 years old and a high school dropout. He aspires to be a rapper and managed to get over 2,000 followers on SoundCloud. At the same time, he was living with his mother, his father being unknown. Vontae on the side enjoys playing Roblox, his main gang being the Southside Blockers, aka the SSBKs. This Roblox game has a special feature. The rare drops you find, which can be special guns or other explicit material, can be traded for money. This in-game currency can then be traded for real-life money. I'm not exactly sure how the process goes, but it's similar to how RuneScape has Venezuelan gold farmers because RuneScape gold is worth more than their country's currency. This brings us to our second player in the story, Javon Wheeler, aka JV Plugging. Javon is a 25-year-old man and is also a high school dropout. He works two jobs, one being a plug in real life, but on the side he trades his Roblox currency for real life cash. He says that the reason for his hustling is to buy his mother a house, and I quote, "My mom is kind of homeless," he once said, holding back tears. Javon's main gang being the Gang Trappers, he often goes around in games saying JTP, JTP while brandishing his Glock. Where things get interesting is that both of these players are top dogs in the server. This is where the story between JV Plugging and VJ Jr. and their respective gangs begin. JV Plugging has what a lot of players consider an unorthodox method of gaining money in the game. In this game, there's something called Peacetime, where players aren't allowed to shoot each other. If they do, it results in them getting kicked off the server. However, what JV Plugging does is he uses this time to scope out players, hiding in the background, then as soon as the peacetime is over, he pulls up on them shouting JTP, JTP, and rains bullets on them, collecting their money in the end. This method of gaining money is perfect as it doesn't get the player booted off the server, and it allows the robber to get an unexpected upper hand on the person being attacked. This method has been coined PTKing or peacetime killing. The only downside to this method is that it can get very annoying to be targeted like this, making enemies in the process. But hey, you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. However, on June 35th, 2019, JVP made enemies with the wrong player. In a single day, Javon Plugging managed to PTK VJ Jr. for a whole 20 times, taking over 55% of his cash stack. To make matters more embarrassing for Vontae Jones, Javon was live streaming the entire time. VJ Jr. went onto Twitter where he talked about how even though the PTK method is allowed, it is an unorthodox method that should be banned. And I quote, "Man, this shit ain't even fun, taking the fun out of the game and shit. If you want some PKT shit, you a pussy ass nigga." JV Plugging responded saying, "Lock in, bitch ass nigga, it's a 1v1 either way." And VR Jr. responded with a single eerie, "I bet." The next day when JV Plugging was streaming, he suddenly got booted offline. Right after, him and his entire gang got Swiss cheesed at the crib. In Roblox, of course, things don't get taken into real life until later on in the story. VJ then posts the clip onto Twitter, captioned with a bunch of laughing emojis, to which JV Plugging responds saying, "That's why you gotta boot people offline to get kills, cause you do like that." VJ responds saying, "Ain't nobody booted you offline, you just have that illegal immigrant Wi-Fi." Now, a little backstory on JV Plugging. Not only is he playing Roblox and streaming, grinding to get his mother a house, but he's been taking all the money he's been making and investing it into cryptocurrency. What he was investing at the time was Nigga Chain, a meme coin on the internet that started taking off.
Nigga Chain, the first fully AI layer 2 blockchain built on Solana by niggas.
He's talked about his investments numerous times on the internet, going to Twitter and talking about how this nigga chain is gonna get his mom a house. However, on one unfateful night, JV Plugging posted a screenshot showing that he had suddenly lost $30,000 in this meme coin. It was transferred to a Chinese bank firm somewhere in Shihong, China. It was ambiguous on who all was doing this until VJ posted a song on his SoundCloud with a lyric being, "We booted his internet offline, then I pulled up and he got slime. I got the keys to his crypto wallet. shit, I think I'm gonna take all of it. You were supposed to buy your mom a new house. Say less, I'm gonna make sure she stay homeless. Now, the logical thing to do is to take this evidence and go to the police with it. However, JV Plugging is bounded by his African American creed of never snitching. This is where JV Plugging decides to start taking matters into his own hands. JV Plugging then shoots VJ Jr. a message telling him to pull up bitch ass nigga and sending him an address 2 hours away from Atlanta. However, this 2-bedroom, 1-bath house did not belong to him. It was actually owned by 87-year-old Darianne Carlson, who also goes by DC Bussin. DC Bussin is an elderly lady who enjoys going to bingo in her free time. She also likes old classical westerns. You best believe there was a surprise on her face when 5 Hellcat Dodge Durango SRTs and 3 AMG Mercedes pulled up on her front lawn. JV Plugging's idea was actually quite smart, as he didn't give the correct address. Then when Vontae Jones Jr. and his gang pulls up, he was then gonna ambush them with his gang. As shots were fired and bullets started flying, what JV Plugging didn't calculate though was that DC Busing actually got into the mix with her grandfather's old war shotgun. In fact, she managed to take down VJ Jr. in what the court ruled as self-defense. Shortly later, the police arrived and arrested everybody on the scene. JV Plugging ended up getting 30 years in prison on the counts of aggravated assault, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, unlawful use of a firearm, and for having a felony amount of marijuana, as he brought 30 pounds of weed with them just in case the gang members were to make peace. DC Bussin went onto Twitter to say, "Fuck ass niggas, that's what happens when you mess with a real one like me." To this day, years later on the Roblox server, there are people that are still fighting for justice for JV Plugging. They have Roblox avatars with shirts that say hashtag free my boy JVP, he did nothing wrong. And the back of the shirts have a picture of him from elementary school. Unfortunately, this is the last time he was in proper attendance to actually attend picture day. Despite his mother being kind of homeless, somebody even managed to track her down and ask her a few questions about her son. And she responds saying, "He's the sweetest thing ever, he could never hurt a fly, he was a straight A student on his way to being a doctor." She also mentioned she doesn't know why he got 30 years in prison when he's just a kid. May I remind you that JV Plugging was a 25-year-old man when this was all going down. As for Vontae Jones Jr., there was a memorial made for him on Roblox that read out LLVJ Jr. Unfortunately, this memorial site turned into a landmark where gangs meet up to have shootouts. In Roblox, of course. And believe it or not, due to his death, his SoundCloud blew up tremendously. You might have actually heard about it. Over the past 5 to 6 years, his SoundCloud managed to gain another 15 followers. And ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when Ro-Gangsters take the game too seriously and Roblox gets deadly. This is day 267 of spreading misinformation on the internet.